Hi guys, I'm Steve. Today we are watching a fantasy movie. Isn't it romantic? Natari is a plump girl. She has longed for love since she was a child and likes watching all kinds of romance movies. But Natari's mother warned her that in real life, ordinary people will not have the perfect love like in the movie. 25 years have passed. Natari became an engineer for a construction company. She lives in a small house with only a puppy. Although she has outstanding abilities, her colleagues in the company like to use her as a handy assistant because of his fat body. This leaves Natari with no sense of presence in the company, and she doesn't even want to attend the company's business meetings. With constant encouragement from her friend Jogi, she picked up the design draft and walked into the meeting room. But when she appeared, she was regarded as an assistant by the handsome client Black. She had to leave the room to prepare coffee for Black. On the way to buy coffee, Natari complained to Jogi about what happened to her. She thought that no boy would like her. But she ignored Jogi's revealing affection for her. When returning to the office, Natari discovered that the real assistant was watching a romantic comedy. After that, Natari complained about the various unreasonable parts of the movie like her mother back then. Natari babbled for 3 hours, but the assistant still didn't agree with her. At this time, Jogi invited her to go to KTV. Natari refused because of low self-esteem. The assistant reminded her what Jogi meant. Natari thinks that a woman like herself will not be loved by Jogi at all. But she still accepted the assistant's suggestion in her mind. On the way home on the subway, she saw a strange man waving at her. She remembered the assistant's suggestion to open up and talk with the man shyly. But this man suddenly snatched her handbag. Natari, struggling to fight back, finally got his handbag back and knocked down the robber. Because of carelessness, she hit a pillar and fainted. When she woke up from the hospital, she found that her bed was filled with flour. In addition, the doctor who examined her was also very handsome. Surprisingly, the doctor started to compliment her and express admiration for her. This made an inferior Natari think that she was died and was in heaven. She left the hospital. On the streets of New York, she found that not only were flowers on the street, but the air became fresh and comfortable. All this made Natari even more at a loss. She was accidentally knocked down by a luxury car. The handsome man who got out of the car was her client. The former indifferent Black actually regarded her as the goddess in his heart. Black not only calmed her emotions carefully, but also took the initiative to send her home. Before Black left, he even wrote the phone number on the petals. Although this method is very romantic, it is impossible for Natari to contact him with these scattered figures. When Natari came home, she thought she had gone to the wrong room. The exquisite decoration and well-behaved pet made her frightened and called 911. But the gorgeous cloakroom and the beautiful shoes all over the wall make Natari to accept this perfect world. Her indifferent neighbor Tony has also become her best friend. He even took the initiative to ride a motorcycle to send her to work. After arriving at the brand new company, Natari found that the colleagues who were unfriendly to her had become kind and friendly. The only assistant who had a good relationship with her became her rival in the company. Natari, who was deeply puzzled, hurriedly told Jogi of this bizarre experience. But Jogi thought Natari was whimsical. Jogi suggested going out for a walk to relieve anxiety. While relaxing in the park, they ran into Isabella, an advertising model who was stuck with food. Jogi rescued Isabella and he was favored by beautiful women. He then abandoned Natari and left with Isabella. All this makes Natari more convinced that the world she lives in is a romantic movie. Even the swear words she spoken would be automatically blocked. In order to return to her own world, Natari went to the subway again. She wanted to find the robber. But she found that although they have the same looks, everyone is no longer the same like before. Natari decided to jump off the platform to test whether it was feasible. Soon she was taken to the police station by a handsome policeman. Before being detained, she learned that she had a chance to seek bail. Because the phone was confiscated, she could not remember the phone number of her friend. Nattery tried to throw the petals in her pocket into the air. The petals on the ground miraculously formed a phone number. After receiving the call, Black rushed to her and released Nattery on bail. Seeing Black's crazy fascination with her, a voice suddenly rang in Nattery's mind. The voice reminded her that if she wants to leave here, she must have a perfect ending as often seen in movies. Nattery began to try to respond to Black's favor. Just like in movies, the story will always be reversed. Nattery, who spent 5 hours dressing up with Tony's help, was sent to the dock where they were dating by the driver. Like in the movie, they dated on a luxury yacht and shared a perfect dinner. Then Black invited her to eat ice cream at a famous dessert shop. The shop was closed because it was too late, so when Nattery tried to comfort Black, he secretly opened the door. After enjoying ice cream, Nattery has gradually adapted to this world. They could only leave as soon as the police came on from outside the window. When escaping, Nattery accidentally fell into Black's arms. With light rain, she got an affectionate kiss from Black. This made Nattery let go of all her scruples and took Black back to the apartment. She tore off his shirt and pushed Black onto the bed. But she soon discovered that since it was not an adult movie, nothing happened to them. She tried many times and the result was the same. Disappointed, Nattery had to wait for Black to send her back to the real world with an affectionate confession. When Black said that "I love you," Nattery found she is still in this illusory world. Nattery began to think about where the problem was. After arriving at the company, Nattery was provoked by her assistant again. And the company also asked her to submit design drawings of the hotel. Unknowingly, Nattery could only smile awkwardly. Fortunately, Jogi appeared to help her out. The caring Jogi bought her dinner that night. At this time, the voice in her mind sounded again, reminding her that the man in front of her was her true love. But when she was about to verify with Jogi, Black suddenly arrived. Feeling embarrassed, Jogi can only find excuses to leave. The next day, Nattery and Black met Jogi, who was dating Isabella. Isabella invited Nattery and Black to a grand party together. At the party, Nattery discovered that she had misunderstood what Jogi meant. Actually, Jogi is her true love. When she really realized this, she discovered that this party was an engagement party between Isabella and Jogi. In order to pursue true love and to be able to return to the real world, Nattery decided to confess her intentions to Jogi. But Jogi did not respond to her, which made Nattery very disappointed. Nattery woke up the next day and found that Black had stolen her design ideas. An angry Nattery drove Black out of the house. When Nattery was packing her things, Tony told her that she could not give up her true love. Nattery decides to stop the wedding. Nattery, who rushed to the wedding, successfully prevented the wedding. But when she expressed her admiration to Jogi, she realized that to get true love, she must truly love herself. Nattery, who knew the truth, drove away happily. Unfortunately, she had a car accident. After waking up, Nattery returned to the real and chaotic world. To Nattery, who has found confidence, these look incredibly kind and cute. When she returned to the company again, she confidently refuted a colleague who had been unkind to her. She also confidently presented her own design plan at the meeting. The perfect design scheme makes Black admire and was unanimously affirmed by everyone. Then, Nattery walked out of the meeting room to find Jogi and expressed love to him. They immediately hug each other. Although not everyone cheered like in the movie. But Nattery was extremely happy because she not only regained her confidence, but also gained true love. At this time the music sounded and everyone danced together. Okay, that's all for today's commentary. If you like my video, please don't forget subscribe and share. See you tomorrow.